Right, so we're here on our booth here at Fintech Connect. Perhaps you could start off by introducing yourself to the audience, please.
Sure, definitely. So I'm Santosh Radhakrishnan. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer at XYB by Moniz.
Fantastic. So we have heard an awful lot about what things have been going on in the industry over the last years. Give us a little intro into what XYB is trying to achieve.
Absolutely. So what XYB we launched this May as a technology platform provider for banking and specifically to disrupt the core banking space, right? I have personally been in this industry for about 20 years across Oracle, FIS and Banking Circle. And what I've seen is that the technology has evolved, but the platform that we have built is what the future requirement is, which is essentially absolutely being coreless. And it sounds very ironical to say that we are in core banking space, but we are coreless. But the future of core banking is coreless, meaning that the dependency on core shouldn't be that high, right? It should be all totally componentized. It should be microservices driven, API first. Should be able to deploy separate components within core banking architecture as it's on its own independently, without being dependent on any other third party systems or any other a core platform that needs to run a specific engine, right? So the way we have architected this for ourselves at Moniz is something which is exemplary, and that's what our first customer, which is Investec, saw the value in. We were able to deploy this for them and help them launch a new business current account in about 8 months. Similarly, we are working with a very large tier 1 bank right now. So these are the proof points at the back of which we thought that this is what the market is ready for right now, being truly coreless, being able to deploy components rather than rip and replace of the whole core banking, and helping the transformation journey of large tier 1s and tier 2s, tier 3s. Yeah.
Okay, so winding back just a little bit. So obviously, fintech was born arguably 2008, something like that. We saw a rise of neobanks which were building digital banking systems very differently to traditional ones. And this concept that you kind of raised of core banking was the limitation for a lot of incumbent banks, why they couldn't move quickly. And then over maybe the next sort of 6 years or so, we saw a lot of them partner with fintechs or adapt slightly, but still maintaining their core banking system. What is it that's happened now or recently that has mean that people can start re-looking at that core banking system, or as you say, wipe out the core banking system?
No, so essentially I'm not saying, like I said, the future of core banking is being coreless, right? And you rightly said, right, when fintechs were launched around that time frame and they started building their own tech because of the limitations that were presented by core banking at that point in time, helped them be innovative, faster to the market, deliver faster value to market. What that has done is not only delivered better value to the customers, being end retail or corporate customers or SME customers, but it has also shown to the banks that, hey, innovation can be done faster, not because you're small and you can start fresh and you build on your technology, but because your architectural principles needs to be completely different to deliver the value that you want to deliver to end customers than being stuck to your older technology platforms, right? Mm-hmm. So it has done what neobanks and challengers did to the banking industry. They have also done at the same time on the technology front, right? They have shown and proven the value of making their architecture completely nimble and coreless and componentized. And that's the learning that these large tier 1, and it has created a market. That's what I'm saying. So it has created a market, an appetite, and actually has prepared the tier 1s and tier 2s and others who are using traditionally old incumbent core banks to say that, hey, actually I'm ready to now adapt and go that way to actually fuel my banking needs, right? Okay. And that's where XYB perfectly fits, because we have done this for ourselves, and we've been the neobank and challenger. And what we have been able to do better is that we have been able to platformize it and be able to commercialize it so that everybody else can use it, not just be the one significant problem that we have seen with other fintechs in that journey is that they've been very internally focused, and their technology build has been very focused to serve their own. They have not been able to componentize it and bring third-party plug and play kind of architecture, which Buy-in and Mac alliances advocate, and very few have been able to do that, and we've been one of the fortunate ones, and thanks to our co-founder and CTO Jonas and his team, who has been able to do this and has always thought about this from that perspective.
Well, that's kind of interesting, because that kind of feeds onto my next question, because obviously we've seen quite a explosion of traditional neobanks, challenger banks now releasing their platforms. Starling with their engine, Wise announcing just here at Fintech Connect that they're going to start opening up their platform as well. What makes your offering different to what they might be offering?
Yeah, so I think a good example would be Starling, of course, because Wise is very specific, very niche in that specific area, which is payments and international cross-border transfers, and that actually can be a plug-in into our platform, right? So that's the beauty of what XYB has developed, is that we believe very intrinsically, and that's our core value, is that we develop assets only which adds value to the overall ecosystem. If there is something else out in the market which is best of the breed, why would we build it? We should actually bring them in as what we call we have an adapter architecture, where we build adapters with third parties like Currency Cloud, Onfido, or Verif, or any third party which would add value in the overall life cycle, right? And that also helps us, and not only us, but also our end customers with XYB, is to swap out any of these components or any of these partners if the technology evolves, or if they have another third-party partnership which they believe and value more. It's very easy to take them out and bring it in, and that's how the Wise technology would be much more a plug-in for us rather than a competition or any of sorts, right? But that's the differentiating factor, because some of the fintechs would probably offer the whole stack, right? They say that I'll give you a whole stack, white labeled, you take this or nothing, right? And that's kind of restrictive. I mean, it brings you a new technology, but it's restrictive in the terms of it doesn't help you transform your current business from imagine a tier 1 bank. They're trying to really get away from the legacy slowly but surely. For them, take it all or nothing is kind of very, very restrictive, right? And that's still, again, going back to the old incumbent core banking issues, right? So the differentiation that we bring is that we can say that, hey, ABC Bank, you are struggling with your interest engine. Why don't we help you just modernize the interest engine with no dependency on any other components? Once you have achieved that, we go to the next problem, right? And that's a slow, progressive transformation approach that our platform can bring.
Okay, so
it's not so tightly knit, and that's what I'm trying to say.
So it's open. So my interesting, the follow-on question to that is, where does core banking, non-core banking tech be provided, and where does the sort of banking as a service thing come in? Are you merging them together, or is that
so I think that's a very, very good question, right? And that's something which we are also answering within our evolution and our journey, is that the first step has been, of course, to establish a pure technology B2B business within XYB, within Moni's group as XYB, because what we believe is that regulation should be part of the customer's journey, right? But there is also a lot of demand and a lot of requirement that we see that non-banks are getting into the financial services sector, but they're not an expert within the financial services sector. They do not know how to operate a license, or they do not want to own a license and things like that. And to answer to those, what we do is we also we complement our technology platform with something called as XYB Plus, where we for select strategic partners, we are looking at extending our banking, our EMI license, our customer service, our customer support, our growth, and those teams to help them achieve a faster time to value, and rather than being stuck in becoming a regulated entity and going through the whole bureaucracy. So we are I would say we are not a full BaaS, but we are happy to complement our technology offering to help non-banks and the ones which absolutely need this support to go to market very fast. Yeah.
Fantastic. Final question.
Yeah, sure.
We're here at Fintech Connect. What have you seen, or what are you looking forward to seeing the most while you're here?
So The honest answer is I just arrived, but I've been to this one before, and I've been following some follow. And one of the most interesting ones was the evolution of this fintechs like Wise that they announced today. How are the other fintechs evolving within this space? You know, the market is very different right now. The market is looking at profitability, looking at other KPIs. So my interest is to see what are the journeys they're taking, what are they announcing. Yeah, that's my key interest. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
here
you for having me.
Fintech Connect.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.